All right, we are live once again. The Underground Experience. I'm your host, Mr. J. Tonight's guest is DJ Astro. We'll be getting him in directly. We're getting ready to have them. Come on. In just a second. Always check out www.empiremusic, spelled MUSIQ, to check out the merch, the music, and to have your chance to be a part of the Underground Experience documentary, supporting the documentary as either a producer or a associate producer on the project by funding it. So go to the blog side of the page on the website and get your chance to be a part of that today. We're getting ready to bring him on in just a second. Just trying to get him in. We're working on that. All right,
Woo.
we've got DJ Astro in the building.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
All right. So for those who need a little bit of catch up, you know, give them a little bit of background on yourself, about how you got started, and what you have had going on in the past.
Dope. All right, man. Well, my name's DJ Astro. Uh, I've been a promoter here in Colorado for 10 years now, and started DJing my own shows, and uh, started getting booked all over the place. And now I'm still booking shows, much bigger shows, and uh, ready to go for this year.
All right, and what's some of the shows and individuals that you've booked?
Yeah. Well, we worked with Lil White. We worked on the first Shaq's Funhouse out in Miami. Um, I worked with Global Dance Festival here in Colorado for a while, my early 20s. And now, going on to this year, we've got the very first Bone Thugs and Harmony reunion in Colorado in over 10 years. We're featuring all 5 members: Busy Bone, Lazy Bone, Crazy Bone, Wishbone, and Flesh and Bone. We got Dizzy Wright on the show. We got X-Rated from Strange Music on the show. We got Lil Easy E, Easy E's son, and Hell. That's Nate Dogg's son. A ton of big names on here. It's been a crazy year so far. We got another big one coming up in October I can't really talk about yet, but you guys are going to be really excited.
Yeah, that sounds like a full and stacked bill there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so how do you how did you just really get started trying to build some of these shows?
Well, my dad was a promoter and a DJ. And when I was a teenager, I didn't grow up around him, but when I was getting older, I was flying out and seeing him every summer, and got to go to a bunch of his shows, and got to see how he moves and does stuff. And I told myself, I was like, man, this is really fun. This is a fun way to live. And yeah, I just kind of, I never really thought that it would be me for a long time. I thought that I'd be a an athlete. I wanted to play baseball. Um, but now just kind of came together, and I can't really say I'm too upset about how things are going.
I can imagine. So what really goes into like reaching out to different artists and trying to figure out what venues you can be at?
Man, what I found is a lot of it has to do with relationships that take a long time to build. I mean, this this idea that is hip hop on the hill now. I mean, I would have loved to do 10 years ago. When the idea came to mind, and over time, just build these connections. We booked Dizzy Wright at a small place in Denver. And we became pretty cool. We talk all the time now. And same with a lot of these acts. We did some work with Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, probably 6, 7 years ago. That turned into that connection, and I think really it goes back down to fostering good relationships with people over time that open up the doors for bigger opportunities. And I think that's really where it starts, is just kind of hanging out, meeting people, working together, and over time just opening up doors to bigger things.
What's some of the you know some of the footwork? Do you is it difficult sometimes to get in with some of these artists, and have you had artists just kind of say, okay, well, we're not ready for this particular event right now, or
Oh, all the time, man. Um, there's a lot of politics that go into working with all these guys. So I just yeah, you gotta kind of like keep your head up. You're gonna get a thousand no's before you get a yes. Usually, I mean, um, but I mean, some of the footwork that goes into it, I mean, just goes right back to building those relationships. Obviously, it's on the business side, it's the same thing with like investors. You want to get good, strong relationships with investors. People know they can trust you. You can, you know, come through on what you're telling them, and that's a way back into bigger money, bigger events, and you know, that's uh that's something that I don't think really clicks in a lot of younger guys till they're around for 7, 8, 10 years, and it's. I mean, by that time you've either fizzled out or that that's what you want to do. So.
right? And talking to investors or sponsors, or you know how does that first meetings kind of how do you kind of seek people out that are really kind of invested in that zone, or in that area?
I think it's important to get people that are invested in the same ideas or same sort of demographic as you're reaching with your concerts. Obviously, like a lot of these like classic hip hop shows, dispensaries are the first ones that'll take a sponsorship, just because they're already hard enough to advertise. I mean, they can't have commercials. There's all kinds of laws around advertisement. But then a lot of my weed smokers are classic hip hop fans. So we get a lot of dispensaries are interested, a lot of people with similar interests or similar demographics they could sell to, like these alcohol companies. That's a big one. Um, Other music and entertainment companies of all kinds want to get involved. So I think it's important to just kind of figure out what your demographic is, who you're reaching, and that way you can kind of piece together, okay, well, that same demographic applies to this kind of product. And that makes it a lot easier to sell to a sponsor. Um, because then they obviously got skin in the game. They can get in and sell products, and makes it easy for them to make money off of the event too. That's super important. A lot of these companies, they're not just in there trying to throw money away. So
Right.
they want to get in and try to figure out how to use it and use the group of people you're going to bring around to make them money, even if it's like down the road. Sometimes, I mean, they'll do like a little promo deal, hand out. I know we did one, I don't know, like forever ago. We had like this dispensary we worked with, and we made them a whole bunch of little coupons for like, I think it was like $1.08 or something like that.
Hmm.
And it worked. I mean, they sponsored our event series, and we had banners up every week, and people started bringing these coupons back, buying an eighth, but then they'd buy other things too. So they come in, people that never heard of this place before, come in and spend, $500-$600, but they're getting that dollar eighth, and that's what's bringing them in. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to figure out what the people you're approaching have to gain from your event,
Right.
and then find a way to formalize that into paper, into black and white, get it in front of the right people. You know, I guess everybody, these artists, these sponsors, investors, they're just people. you,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
figure
True.
you figure out what they want and just have a normal conversation with them. I mean, get your foot in the door. It's you'll be able to find a couple that want to work with you.
No doubt. So did you kind of have already have your kind of, I guess, perspectives, or always have like a format out for exactly how you wanted to do the show, exactly what, so you can kind of slide it to them so they get a kind of a feel for what you're trying to do?
I mean, I do now. I can't say the same for when I was,
Yeah.
19, 20 years old. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. We were just having a party. We were just having a good time and getting our friends on stage and hanging out every Tuesday night. That's how it started. So, I mean, now, I think probably when I was about 24, 23, 24, I started figuring out, oh shit, we can make some money off of this. let's
Right.
let's figure out how to do this the right way. Before that, it was just let's hang out. We're having a good time. We get our friends together. It's like a little party, a free place to hang out every week. I think it didn't really start coming together till like years into this, 5 years into it, 5, 6 years into it, where I was like, wow, maybe we could like survive off of this.
So bringing all that stuff together, how's the has that helped the scene? From the last time I spoke to you, has some other independent artists kind of popped up and kind of come on your radar and wanted to be involved in some of these projects and things?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, the local community is kind of what started it all. Um, Started making these events cooler and worth putting together. And so I make sure to try to give back to the locals. Shout out Albius for She's. He's on this show with Bone Thugs and Harmony. We got a bunch of other guys too. Ko Kelly, Raya Music. A whole bunch of local acts that really bring the community together for us and make these events awesome, make them what they are, you know?
Hmm. So you kind of mentioned, Bone Thugs. Um, how much time did it take to really try to get them together? And was it something they were already kind of planning to get everybody together?
No, no, yeah. So I knew August, who's Busy Bones manager for the last, you know, 6 years or so. And me and him had always talked about, wow, we should bring Busy out. We should bring some of these guys you're working with out and have a Busy Bone concert. And one way or another, it didn't pan out for years, you know, because COVID happened, and so that messed up a lot of plans, and then whatever schedules or whatever, something was always happening that made it hard to make it happen. And one day we had a new investor come in right after we signed with our new ticket company. Shout out to Multipass Tickets, by the way. That's my exclusive ticket vendor. Um, and they said, "Well, hey, let's put together a hip hop show.
Mm.
So we're gonna put some funding into this. You know, who you want to bring?" And the first thing I thought, I was like, "Man, I gotta bring Bone Thugs and Harmony because we've been trying to do this forever." And it turned out actually that when I hit them up, they typically only tour with 4 members. So they'll tour with Lazy Bone, Crazy Bone, Flesh and Bone, and Wishbone. And so I hit up an agent, actually, like a totally different agent that's not August, and they were like, "Yo, yeah, we'd love to get you Bone Thugs and Harmony, but we're
Hmm.
not. They don't tour with Busy Bones. We can't get you Busy Bone." Like, oh boy, okay. And I ended up getting to the right agent, and they were like, "Well, we really are just touring with these 4 guys, so let's make it happen." And we were able to get them locked in, and I hit up August and was like, "Dude, what is it gonna take to bring Busy Bone on this?" And over like a week, we went back and forth a little bit, but we made it happen, and now we got Busy Bone. So we got all 5 members live. It's happening on May 22nd next month at Levitt Pavilion, Denver. And it's going to be the first time all 5 members have been in Denver for, I think somebody told me the other day, 17 years.
Wow.
So it's been forever since they all got together. And then obviously, like Easy E is who brought Bone Thugs kind of into the mainstream, and kind of to pay homage to that, we wanted to bring Lil Easy E on and make sure that he was able to be there with Bone Thugs, and obviously Dizzy Wright, that's family with the Bone Thugs and Harmony. Um, so it's really kind of turned into this family Memorial Day cookout, if you will. We're just gonna
Mm.
have barbecue food. We're gonna be chilling, having a good time, and we're gonna have a cool concert with it. So,
That's what's up. Definitely.
yeah, man, super excited for that. This is gonna be dope.
It's interesting because I guess we're supposed to be, on tour with Wu Tang for certain dates and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, yeah, dude, I saw that. That looks so cool. I got a chance to catch Ghostface Killer here in Denver. Shout out to my promo company, Party Guru Productions. Um, they put our team out there to hang with Wu Tang and check it out. And they brought Papa Don on too. It was like this whole thing. It was sweet, but that's super dope that they're gonna put Bone Thugs on, and I'm hoping to maybe catch a show or two when they're on tour. It's gonna be sick.
yeah, I was sure. probably not gonna fall in my favor to be able to catch a show.
Yeah.
Last I caught the last go round, Wu Tang Run the Jewels. So
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one, man. We found I saw tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I saw Dizzy said something about he was heading out to San Diego because Bone Thugs is gonna open for Cypress Hill. Thought that was pretty dope too. It's cool. It's cool to see them get their flowers. You know,
yeah.
like I think a lot of people, you know, a lot of like the younger generation, they don't realize like what a big impact Bone Thugs and Harmony made on hip hop in general. You know, in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to see them get the respect they deserve because I know they're getting their star on Hollywood. I think August said that was going to be in July or something, but I saw it in the news headlines before I talked to him about it, and I think that's super dope. Think it's super cool seeing like the hip hop community kind of round up behind these guys, these legends, you know, and we get to see these groups together like Wu Tang. That's crazy. I mean, we're lucky. I live in Colorado, so we get to see everybody every year. They hit Red Rocks, you know, and um, but to get Wu Tang and Bone together, that's crazy. I'm so excited.
Definitely. Um, so what's some of the last things that you rounded up before you kind of line this up?
Yeah, well, we just did Dizzy right back in shoot. I want to say maybe November. Shoot, where's the poster at? I got the poster over here somewhere. There it is. There it's at. October 30th, Halloween. So we just did Dizzy then. And actually, I found this dope new artist around the same time called Seuss Mace. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Seuss Mace?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not
So
totally sure.
he's a younger guy. I mean, he's not like super. He's probably about my age, but like
Mm-hmm.
he is like the fastest chopper rapper I have ever seen in my life. He is crazy, and at first, like it's like, is this guy actually doing this? So I brought him out last November 7th, and we put Seuss Mace on for his own headline, and he killed it. I mean, he every single word for word like you see online. This guy really does live. He's the real deal. If Strange Music don't pick him up, somebody's gonna. And I know he's already got like tracks with Tech Nine and King ISO and all these big names like in that Strange Music kind of realm. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me see. I got his thing over here too. Seuss Mace. He is he is dope. Definitely check him out. It's Seuss Mace on all platforms. We're actually putting him on hip hop on the hill too. He's gonna crush it. But we were working together really close with this nightclub for a while, and they had some stuff go down, and they're not open anymore. But they we were able to bring a lot of cool stuff there, and we had a weekly series going for a while where we just focused on local rappers, local hip hop, and I'll tell you what, man, Colorado's got some serious local talent. It's insane what kind of people we got coming out of here, and I see some really big things coming in the next couple of years for some of these guys that are going around doing open mics and just hustling right now. But we did a whole lot of that last year, just focusing on our local program. We did this, so we started an artist development program back in 2024, and
Okay.
we took about 8 guys under our wing, and got them in the studio, pushing out tracks, got them on stage, got them moving tickets, built pages up for them and stuff. And they're all doing pretty well right now, and we're really excited to see it It's kind of weird because like as we've been stepping away from that and more into what is going to be these amphitheater shows, we're really trying to bring a lot of those people on at the same time and kind of give them some big stage time and really what I mean they've earned it. Is the truth. Over the last couple of years, they've earned it. They've sold hundreds of tickets, probably thousands of tickets, honestly,
Yeah.
between these guys and just crushed it. So that was a big focus in 24 and 25 was a lot of these mid-level club shows we got to get them on and now we're jumping into the amphitheater.
What do you look forward to? Out of that, what's the kind of sound difference? Uh, I guess uh, audience difference between those kind of spots and venues.
Man, well, as far as like this amphitheater, it's a beautiful place. It is really truly awesome to be able to do shows there. It's called Levitt Pavilion Denver, and we actually got a couple dates reserved for later this year and even into next year. It's a 6,500 cap, so it's huge. And with the investors that we have, we're able to bring in some really big acts. So look out for that for sure. I wish I could talk more about it,
Mm.
but we have some really big shows coming at the end of this year and into next year. That if you told me I was doing this when I was like 17, I'd be like, no way. But obviously it's got amazing sound. It's got these giant stack line arrays, and um, the clubs we were at. I mean, they have decent sound too, but I've always owned my own sound system, so we've always moved big stacks and subwoofers and floor wedges in to build our own sound system for a lot of these smaller places. And I'll tell you what, to not have to break my back anymore doing that, that's special in itself. Finally get to hang back and just watch sound check happen. I'm looking forward to that, man. I tell you what.
Definitely. I guess it's kind of changed the game. Years ago, how a lot of artists would get in and would try to get on. Was helping the DJ get his stuff in the sound. The speakers and all his other sound equipment, and when they were spinning wax. They get the crates in. That's
Yeah,
how you get into all the spots. That's how you got into the club. You know.
that's crazy. That's great. I got these I got this Pioneer set up now, and it's all digital, and I just love it. I don't have to touch anything. I'm just plug and go, And it's crazy. Guys used to carry around like a whole van full of vinyl. Show up to their show, they're like, "What do you want to hear?" Just flipping through box. That's nuts, man. I'm blessed to be in this time. Yeah, it's a good time to be a DJ. I
Definitely.
just
So
gotta
what?
come in with my USB.
So what do you? What's the programs that you're running? Serato or?
I use Record Box. I just have we use CDJs, and then I've got a little mobile setup. It's a Pioneer XZ, so we use Record Box to format the sets, and that's pretty much it, man. I used to use Virtual DJ and like a laptop and a little controller and the whole nine, but like I tell you what, this is way easier. Just get ready on the one USB and plug it into anywhere and go. That's a game changer, man. I tell you what.
Definitely. So what? As far as these other new up and coming artists, who are some of the ones that kind of really stick out to you that look like they're really kind of putting a lot of effort into, you know, pushing the Colorado sound, and what is particularly the Colorado sound, if there is a sound that you could say that's distinctive.
Man, it's kind of weird because Colorado over the last decade has been like a real melting pot. So like we see a lot of styles from East Coast and West Coast. Um, there's a little bit of everything here. If I've got to pick a couple, I really dig Albius for Shees. Um, he has been working his ass off here for I think 20 years,
Mm.
and dude is just insane talented. I mean, he's well on his way to being discovered. He is really excellent. I really like him a lot. You guys want to check him out? It's ALBEEZ 4 like the number SHEEZ. He's dope. He's really cool. We got another guy that I didn't know before actually. It was he was actually sent to me by somebody else that's on the show, Raya Music. She's also cool. She's like a bedroom pop kind of artist. But she sent me this guy called K.O. Kelly. And since I heard his stuff, K.O. Kelly, man, he's on my Spotify playlist now. I listen to him all the time. He's really good. And there's this other guy that I mean, he's just Denver through and through. Like, he's got a bunch of big features with other Denver artists that independently, like, their numbers are doing really good. I mean, for being, Colorado and Colorado and
Hmm.
just staying local. He's called DNA Picasso. He's also on this show.
Hmm.
Super dope artist, DNA Picasso. I think he had a track with this other artist that I DJ'd for a couple times, like 5 years ago. She was called Spinks, and I think their track is called FanDuel. FanDuel, like the betting app.
Yeah.
That track is hot. I mean, it's dope. There's another guy on that track. I think it might be AP. AP. He's also a Colorado. He definitely worth a look. AP. He's dope. Um, Trev Rich. Trev Rich is a local guy. He's awesome. I mean, it's kind of hard to even call him local at this point. He had a track fall on, I think it was the Spider-Man the Multiverse
Mm.
movie, and that he's on fire. He's dope. He's really dope. But yeah, I mean, there's so many to name. I'm telling you, Colorado is just full of like a lot of really talented artists. I can't even book all of them. But there would just be like no time. I'd have to book like 4 days of this. But no, man, I shout out Colorado, man. All these local artists really putting on for the state and whatever states they came from, because like I said, there's a little bit of everything here as far as style and um. I mean, we're really blessed musically here.
So do you see a lot of influx of artists coming from from out of state coming there, just kind of
Oh, every year.
setting up or
Yeah, every year. We get a lot from California. A lot of dudes out of like the LA area. We get a lot from Texas. A lot like Austin and Dallas kind of rap. We got a lot of dudes come from Georgia, like the Atlanta area. We got some New Yorkers out there. There's a huge influence. I mean, it's kind of maybe it's slowed down in the last couple of years, but especially like right around the time like recreational weed was the thing,
yeah.
where it was only like 2 or 3 states that were doing it. It was like this huge influx in well, people in general. I mean, shout out the real estate market. But yeah, yeah, man. There's a ton of people from all over the country here, and it's weird to see all the different styles in one place because you don't just get one. It's like it's hard to pinpoint really what is Colorado anymore because it's
Mm.
kind of all a mixture of all these different styles from all over the country, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can kind of pick and choose and figure out who's dope for what lineup and what kind of event you're trying to plan, and it's actually really great because you can figure out a couple guys for pretty much any style you're trying to put together.
That's definitely dope. Um, like I said, I guess it's great for the diversity of the scene, not so much for rental prices.
Yeah. Oh my god. Nah, man, we've been looking at me and my wife. Love my wife, by the way. I love my wife. She told me to say that. um,
Good
me and my
job,
wife,
good
we've been
job. Get to
looking.
stay in the house another year, right?
That's right. That's right. Shout out my wife. I love you, Abby. I love you. But no, we've been looking at houses this last couple months,
Mm.
and oh my goodness, man! I mean, regular, 3 bedroom house here is like $500,000, $600,000,
Wow.
and I'm like, wow, this isn't even like great. We're talking about $500,000. I'm like, shit, man.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Shout out
crazy.
weed.
Definitely, that's crazy. No, definitely none of those prices around here. Um,
Man, not where are you at? I'm gonna move there.
we're the home of J. Cole, Fayetteville, North Carolina, two
All
six.
right. Yo, I like Fayetteville actually. I like North Carolina a lot. Me and my wife, we're actually talking about moving there. That's crazy. It's a pretty place. Her brother lives there actually, and we wanted to go up for a vacation.
Yeah, it is. I think it's topping out at about 250. I think somewhere in there.
Oh,
For the
damn.
newer houses. That means
What?
like new.
Yo.
Um, I think the older houses, I think it may be 150 and above, 150, somewhere in there.
Oh man. Man, well, I'm gonna come check out Fayetteville.
That's a lot for the locals, but it's not Colorado or New York prices. Uh,
Yeah, Colorado's really getting close, man. It's getting to that New York range, man. What's the scene like out in Fayetteville?
we have a lot of young people coming up. Of course, right now you got J. Cole. You have PFG, who looks like he's getting ready to be on the cusp of doing something. We just had Mo. I keep forgetting his moniker, uh, but he was just um, pretty big. Had a lot of uh, the album's called Street Sermons, I believe.
Okay.
Um, and he just had a couple features on J. Cole's album, on his last one, and on this one. Um, and of course, a lot of the OGs, of course, like my group, the Empire, Ground Zero. Ground Zero just had some stuff sampled on J. Cole's album. We got interviews like Black Watch. Um, there's a host of OGs. It's hard to keep up with some of the younger cats that are coming out. Of course, North Carolina is also known for Petey Pablo, for Little Brother. That whole set, around the Justice League. A lot of different artists out of that camp. The Baby was in Charlotte.
The
Um,
baby, he was on that Shaq's Funhouse show that we did back in it's 2019 or 2020. in Miami. He was a dope artist too, man. I don't know if he's still doing stuff, but he was pretty cool. J. Cole, obviously, he's like king out of that area. He's so dope. I mean, bro, I bet he could easily sell out 20,000 seats here, and just like, yeah.
Yeah,
Cole's dope.
no question, no question. Everybody's kind of down in the dumps because he's not doing the festival, the Dreamville Festival. It was the first year without it this year. I don't
What?
know if anything's coming back anytime soon.
Oh,
Who knows?
dude, man,
Um,
I
the
always thought that
baby's
would be dope to check out.
the baby is doing was the Be More Thankful Festival out in Charlotte, coming up in the next month or so, I think.
Okay,
Um, so I mean, you have people do different festivals and things like that. Hopscotch, that's usually in the fall. So all kinds of different artists are usually on that.
that in
Um,
Fayetteville.
it's out in Raleigh,
Okay,
Raleigh,
cool.
Raleigh, Durham. Yeah, yeah.
Man, that's cool, man. You guys get a lot of big festivals out there and stuff. It's kind of weird because there's like we got a really interesting position with this venue out here, this Levitt Pavilion,
Hmm.
because it's one that's not really monopolized by like Live Nation, AEG. So independent promoters can still get in there and like put together something dope. But realistically, like most of the big acts, they all funnel up to Red Rocks, and
Yeah,
they're basically all AEG or Live Nation shows. There's very few that are promoted by anybody independent or like up and coming. So we landed a really cool spot out of this, but we really don't see a whole lot of like new festivals pop up here because they're all sort of in that Live Nation AEG realm and have been for, you know, 10, 20 years.
yeah,
So that's super dope. Seeing a lot of like independent festivals come up in the area. I mean, it's a beautiful area too. It's all green and full of trees and life. I always thought it'd be dope to get out by the Carolinas and like take a boat out by like what is it? Yeah, I think Blackbeard's boat is like sunk out there or something.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. I always wanted to do that. Watch this show called I don't remember what it Drain the Ocean on Disney Plus. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm getting a boat. No,
Definitely.
that's dope though.
Speaking of Live Nation, they just, I believe, lost that lawsuit. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know exactly what that means for them kind of trying to break some of that up. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I was thinking about that too, like how that'll have play on independent promoters like myself.
Hmm.
I know you do some promoting out there too, right?
Uh,
And
yeah, from time to time.
yeah, I think like maybe, just maybe, that might give us a little leg up and be able to get into these places, man, and be able to make something dope happen. Because like, all right, like for example, like I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but so a very big venue here in Colorado, I got a hold of one day, right? And this was before any of this started going my way. And I was like, yo, really want to bring a show there. I could get the money, I could get the investors, I can get the acts in. And they were like, well, we have this policy, and you have to be a legacy promoter. So you have
Oh
to have
wow.
already been a promoter there for like years to get any dates worth anything. And then what
Wow.
happens is if like somebody pulled out of a date, then it becomes like available for like independent promoters, but you still would have to use their ticketing platform and their channels. So somebody like myself, I'm signed with my own ticketing platform and we have an exclusive relationship. So it's something I couldn't do anyways. But I think by the time they called me back and they were like, "Yo, yeah, we could do that Red Rock show." I was like, "Okay, dope. When can we do it?" And they were like, "Well, it's a Monday in about a month.
Yeah.
It's gonna, and you're gonna have to
Wow.
put up about 150 grand." I was like, "I don't think that's gonna happen."
Wow.
And it's, that kind of thing like really puts independent promoters in a spot where they're like,
Exactly.
what do I do now? Like, I can't get into these bigger places. Like, how do I grow and become like this bigger, better version of myself? And maybe this lawsuit will do something to open that door a little bit, to the little guy, and be able to bring in some of this like up and coming talent, people that aren't getting that exposure because they're not politically involved with the right groups, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so that's something I think I hope is going to change from this, where people could start kind of bringing new stuff around, and it's not just the same guys bringing their circle around every single week, you know. But again, I mean, like, I'm super blessed that we found this other place that does allow us to do that, because that's super rare here. It's like it's a very tight knit society that's putting on the bigger shows, and being able to break into that like seemed impossible for like 10 years. I've had a bunch of opportunities just not go my way. Or I'm like, I got the talent lined up, but we didn't get the money lined up. But we have the money lined up, but we don't have the venue lined up. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like finally, finally seeing it come together is just like wow,
Definitely. Speaking of that, just having everything lined up, um, a lot of uh, venues and different things kind of fall or become more difficult when they start talking about having, you know, extra insurance or having insurance over a certain amount. How do you
Right.
navigate that, and how do you get that lined up?
That's something I didn't know before either. And what it is like most insurance companies won't actually cover hip hop or EDM. They think that, it's a higher risk because there's fights that break out or drugs or whatever else. So most of these companies won't even cover it. So you got to like that was one of the bigger hurdles that we had for Hip Hop on the Hill.
Mm,
I spent 2 weeks trying to find an insurance company that would cover hip hop, and it's more expensive too. Like if we booked a jazz band, I could pay like $200 for the insurance policy. I think ours was like 4 grand,
mm,
for the,
mm.
for the one day. That's insane. And let's see, Spinny B said, "Do artists still get paid if they do free events?" Yo, Spinny B, that's actually a good question. And like as a DJ, I could actually tell you yes, but you gotta find the right events. Something like I got into by accident, right? Like I had a friend who was like a sound guy. He's like an older head, right? Sound guy, guitar player for like the government events. They would have like a Cinco de Mayo festival, 4th of July, blah blah blah, right?
Hmm.
And one day he was like, "Yo, I can't do this event, and I know you got sound systems. Could you come and do sound for me?" And it turns out these government events have a budget they have to spend for local talent, right? So the idea is that they're like keeping the money inside their own circle, like in their own governmental system.
Yeah.
So if you reach out to these governmental agencies, these governmental groups, like usually it's like a community fund that they've put together to put on like your local like Cinco de Mayo festival, right? They have a couple grand that they're willing to allocate towards local acts. Definitely look into that. Might even be through like your city council in some places, but check into that Spinny B because you can absolutely get paid for doing free events. It just depends what event and who's putting on the event.
Definitely, that was a good piece of game there, piece of free game there.
Oh yeah, I didn't like I said I found that by accident, and it turned into like a long term thing where I was getting paid, and it's not crazy payday, but 500 to $1,000 when you got a small following and you're just coming up. That's a good payday.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no problem. I'll do the Labor Day festival. I remember the first one. It was like second or third one I got hired for. We did it was a Memorial Day festival. No, it was Labor Day. Labor Day festival. It was the other one, the end of summer. And I got to DJ like during the fireworks show, which was
Yeah.
super dope. I didn't have like any idea what the schedule was, so I just like tried my best to time the drops with the fireworks, and that was a good one. I think that was like a $600 or $700 to DJ and just have fun for a couple hours. So yeah.
Oh, wow, definitely. So, as far as like um putting everything together, um, you know, are you just building for yourself, kind of a singular entity, or are you like, you know, really looking for a partnership, or are you trying to,
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Something I've learned on these bigger events is it's impossible to do by yourself.
mm,
Like it really does. It takes a whole community to really get the let out and enough people involved and even knowing what's going on to make a successful event like that. Um, I think I saw my wife. I think she might have missed this first drop. I love you, baby. Anyways, uh, I think it takes a really solid team to make it happen successfully. I mean, of course, the ego. Everybody's like, I want the. I did that. I did that. I did that. But no, I think it really takes a strong team, the people that trust each other and care to
hmm
make it happen in a big enough way to create waves. Otherwise, if it's all about the ego, unfortunately, I mean, you're going to fail. You got to be able to spread the love and get other people involved and get even people that'll tell you no. People that'll say, "Hey, maybe that's not a good idea," or "Hey, maybe try this. Maybe here's a way. Maybe you haven't thought about this situation that could help sell some tickets or could help get some more talent or get some eyes on this ad." I think it's important to build around a strong team, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I really want to have a strong core group where we can just and we have where we can just have a system in place to kind of rinse and repeat.
right.
You know, like we got like right now for Hip Hop on the Hill, we got a guy that's in charge of promotion. We got a guy that's in charge of ticketing. I handle most of all the talent booking, really. Um, then obviously with the venue, they've got their own system. So we're working with tour managers and the production managers to make sure everything actually runs smoothly on the stage. Um, yeah, I mean, shoot, man, if you try, if you tried to do all this on your own, you just go crazy. There's just so many moving parts. It's insane. I mean, I never even knew how many moving parts there was until now. And I was like, yeah, that's why. Because you need 80 people to make this happen.
Wow.
And shout out our promo team, too. We got a really cool street team. There's like an army in there. I think there's like 30 people. We've got some going out to a concert tonight, Cervantes Masterpiece Ballroom, just to talk about the event, hand out some flyers and stuff, And Just that, yeah, man, it takes a village.
Definitely. You talk about street team. Are you relying strictly on the kind of the street team word of mouth, or are you able to kind of get a little bit of traction television wise, or is it kind of just street team and the internet? As far as publicizing a lot of the shows.
Well, I mean, the old school way it works. It has its advantages, but obviously, got to kind of pivot to the digital age where we're like able to use these social media platforms to our advantage to reach the followers that directly connect with the artists that we're working with, and then at the same time, like we have TV ads as well, and we got like Busy Bone. He's coming into Nine News to do an interview the day before the show, so they
Mm,
get air at the morning of the show, and they're gonna have like a whole interview with him. It's gonna go live on Nine News on TV on May 22nd, the day of the show. Then we've also got radio involved. We've got the street team is a big part of it. Don't get me wrong. We got guys out there putting posters up and handing flyers out every day. I mean, I was out last night. Uh, I like to get my hands dirty a little bit, So I was out last night handing flyers out, talking to people about the event at the at Red Rocks. They had Baby No Money and Oliver Tree last night. So
mhm.
me and my wife were there just grinding too, So just any way at all that I could find to try to put ads in front of people, we do. We also work with Denver Post. It's a big paper here. Got ads in there. We got ads with the Denver Westward. That's like a music magazine here. It's just like a little bit of everything. Any way that I could find it all. I even found like a ton of like event calendars. So it's on like different community calendars, like the Visit Denver Center
Right.
has the event in rotation. Um, a bunch of little small magazines and stuff have it all in their calendar. So yeah, it just any way I can get the let out at all. I got another one from Spinny B here. Is there a specific formula equation that is used? Um, as far as for the events, you know, it's a yes and a no, right? Like, I think in many ways you don't want to try to reinvent the wheel,
Right.
right? But like there's a found way to make this work that I think it's important to show some respect to the OGs that have done it 100 times. But at the same time, I think everything is going to happen the way that it happens for you, if that makes sense. So, like, some people are way better at getting out and talking to people, while some people
Right.
are really good at writing up a contract and doing the formalities, and some people are not. you know,
Mm,
I think what you want to do is build a situation that works for you based off of the strengths that you have to start, and then find other people who are good at the stuff that you aren't, to try to build that solid team to work together to make it happen. Because I think the first step, honestly, in figuring out what equation is going to work for you is figuring out what you are and aren't good at. You
right.
know what I mean? And not being afraid to admit it. Like, for example, like I'm really good at doing like talking business. I'm good at doing business conversations, right? I can have business conversations really well.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm good at writing up the paperwork. I'm good at going out and talking to people and stuff. But I'm not like the most organized person in the world, right? So like I will forget things. I'll forget to put things on my schedule, on my calendar and stuff. So it's like super important. I've got that promo guy that's like ready. He's like, hey, we're still doing this today at 11 a.m., right? Because we have to release this graphic and blah, blah, blah. So I think it's important to figure out what you are and aren't good at. Find people that are better than you at the things you aren't good at, and put together a team that can do it right. Because you want to reach promotion wise, you want to reach as many people as you possibly can. You want to be organized. You want to work with a good venue. You want everybody to be willing to be a team player, and you just got to find all the right pieces, kind of like putting a puzzle together, you know. And you got to realize what pieces you already are. You start with a couple pieces and you start building that puzzle, and then you start to figure out what the picture looks like, and that's whatever that looks like for you. You can do it.
No doubt. Since we're coming up on the hour here, any advice you want to give out to up and coming, DJs, promoters?
Yeah, 100%. Don't fucking quit. If I could say, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. Don't quit. All right. I've seen so many people pop up and disappear, right? But the reality is, when I started doing this, I had so many people tell me I can't do that. You're this, you're that, get a real job, blah 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 blah. And so many people saying this is never gonna work. You're never gonna be able to do this. And if you listen to those kind of people, because I know those kind of people are in everybody's life, right? And you know who that person is. Like, you go to Thanksgiving dinner and they're like, hey, what have you been up to? And you're like, hey, I've been doing this. And they're like, you're stupid. That guy. Don't listen to that guy, because the reality is if you figure out what you want to do and you could put it together and find an actual path that works for you to get to where you want to be, eventually you're going to figure out how to get there. And you're going to get there. You're going to do the things you dream of doing, as long as you don't quit.
Right.
You keep doing what you want to do, and it's going to click as long as you keep building on that, and don't let that little voice in the back of your head that's like, I don't know, is he right? My Uncle Travis, is he right? Should I go get a fucking job at McDonald's and give up? Don't do it. Don't, and even if you do, look, I mean, I understand people got bills, people got families, stuff like that. You got to pay your bills. I get that. If you got to have something that supplements that part of your life in the meantime, that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with going and busting your ass at McDonald's. There ain't nothing wrong with, washing some fucking dishes and going to, going to work and working your ass off, getting your money and paying your bills and making sure your stuff is straight.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, as long as you remember not to give up on your dreams, right? Because you keep building on that, one day you're going to figure out how to make it work. And if I could tell that to a million people out there, yeah, I will, because that's where I was. I mean, like 10 years ago, everybody told me that, I remember I had this post blow up one day, which is ironic because I wanted so badly for these events to blow up, right? And I had a post blow up where people were just clowning on me about how shitty this event was that I put together. They were like, oh, there was like 30 people there. It was terrible, blah, 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 blah. And I was like 19, and I didn't know what I was doing, and that's true,
Mm-hmm.
But I think it had like 600 comments on this post, and just like a shitload of laugh react. Like, people hated me.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this ain't never gonna work. You suck.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I would have listened to them, I wouldn't be doing the shit that I'm doing now. And I'm so happy I didn't. I'm so happy I didn't, and because, that's part of it too, man. Like, you're gonna try and fail.
Right.
hundreds of times. If you don't quit, you're gonna try and fail all the time until you get it right, you know.
Right.
And as long as you keep trying, you're gonna find it, man. You can find that formula. So that's my advice. I know I kind of rambled there for a second, but that is what I think the younger generations they need to hear, no matter what you're doing in life, but especially this music stuff, because nobody's gonna be behind you until everybody is. And
Right.
that's really
Definitely.
how it is.
Right.
So I mean, if you got a dream, go and get that shit. And that's my number one advice I could give.
Definitely. Quick shout outs and quick shouts.
Absolutely. Shout out my wife Abby. She's amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her. Shout out my friends at Multipass Tickets. If you're looking for a ticketing platform, maybe you're just starting out, maybe put some events together, use Multipass, man. It helps local artists, and they're a really good company. They're there, and they're very helpful. Shout out Party Guru Productions. That's our promotions company. They do a whole lot to help us get the let out for our event. Shout out Levitt Pavilion Denver and the city of Denver for helping us put these together, and putting us into a category that I didn't think was possible. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much for putting us on to this whole circuit. And most of all, shout out to my local artists and everybody coming up in the scene. And remember not to give up.
Definitely. And I always end the show like this. Nobody knows everything, but everybody knows something. So network, network, network. And as always, you're welcome anytime on this platform. Hope to network with you, collab with you sometime, and we'll keep up with what you got going on.
Sweet.
With that,
Thanks, brother.
we out.
All right. Appreciate you.